Hey everyone, Julian here. Today I'm going to be covering a hot topic, which is how to select samples that fit together and create a groove. You know, when you're making drums and when you're making a track, it's not just about getting good samples, it's about getting good samples that fit together and complement each other. And today I'm going to show you how to do that from scratch. To do this, I'm going to be using my new Definitive Future Garage sample library. The link is at the top of the description. It's this huge sample library I just dropped. It has kicks, percussion, snares, hi-hats, drum loops, effects, even Foley percussion loops, as well as synth loops, some texture noises, and even a full track template. So the link's at the top of the description. I've got a 50% off code there as well. It'll only be available for a few days, so definitely go grab that while you can. This is a really awesome sample library, and it's going to give you everything you need to get started. A lot of people struggle with this style, especially like Future Garage. Definitely can be tough at first, so this will give you an amazing starting place to get going. I'm going to be using it for this video today, and yeah, thanks for the support, everybody. Link at the top of the description. Let's dive in. Alright, so the key to doing this is first, when you're starting from scratch, you have to choose an anchor. You have to just go in, grab a sample without really thinking about how it relates to other stuff and kind of build everything off of that. So for me, that's usually the kick, right? Like I'll usually just start with a kick. Like let's go to 136 BPM, okay? And we're going to, let's make a little loop. And I'll usually just start with a kick like this, like just. Okay, so that's the start of our groove. And then since we're doing Future Garage, I'm going to do some cool stuff with other kicks, right? Like then we can find a sample that's going to work with that. So this is like a nice deep, like punchy kick. So maybe now we're going to look for something that's a bit higher. Like something like that. And we can do like. And you see how those work together because you're getting this one really deep kick that goes boom, and then the high one kind of bounces off of it. So they're working together in that sense. So once you have your anchor down, right, with these kicks, the next thing I try to do is just find some sort of a counterpoint. So what I mean by that would be kind of like your main other groove elements, like, you know, like a hi-hat and a snare. And really, this is where you have to just try like a few different samples, right? Like, I'll take this one, and we'll just put it on the upbeats for our hi-hat groove. And that's all right. But I think that groove's a bit better. And then to add like another kind of element to that, we'll add this one hi-hat here. Just like that. Super simple. And you see how these are working together because not only did I find two hi-hats that work really well with these kicks, but now you're getting these kind of like talking to each other where it's like this one. Right? And that's all happening kind of in the background of your track. Like you're probably not noticing this too much, especially if you're not somebody that's really like a producer, but it's making these elements talk to each other while we still have kind of like the main ones which fit together but are just doing simple rhythms. Then these two are making the whole thing kind of fit together, right? And then while we're at that, I would also usually get like a nice snare, which is like another counterpoint to that main kick groove. And we'll just do a standard two-step on the 2 and 4. We'll try a few snares. Because again, like, you can't always just go, oh, well, this one is going to fit. You really have to try it because it always ends up sounding different. Like, when you're scoring through samples like this, they're going to sound different than when you're actually, like, in the groove, right? Let's try this one maybe, and I'll make it a bit shorter. Yeah, that sounds really good. And we can add like another one to just do like a little, like let's get that one we had. Oh, see, those don't fit great. Let's try another one. Alright, so now we've got a little groove going. It's the main sounds. We have like a main anchor, and then we have some counterpoints that are creating groove. And also, it's sounds that all fit together really nicely. And we just used our ears. It's not overthinking. It's not going, oh, well, this one is this, so we're going to do this. It's just listening. Like, if you guys have the sample pack, you can make this exact same groove. So from this point, this is where I like to actually play around with a little bit of loops. Like, even if I don't use them in the final, just taking some different percussion loops, like maybe like, you know, stuff like this, and just kind of seeing what's going to work. You know, maybe we can take the loops and try like, right? But then what we can do is, again, we're just kind of using that to see like what's going to fit into the beat. So now maybe I'll get a drum rack and we'll get some percussion, and we can kind of create a groove similar to that, but get a little bit more creative with it. Right? And the idea with the loop is just to kind of like find what's going to work. It's kind of like random inspiration, because the truth is this is very open-ended. But once you start dropping loops down and seeing what grooves fit really nicely with what you're already doing, you can, you know, it gives you a lot more to work with. And I think it's just going to give you a more creative outlook on this. And you see now it's all kind of like grooving together, because you're getting from the kick and the hi-hat and the snare. And then right after that hits, you get from this. Matter of fact, every second time we won't have that at the end. And this is also working with call and response, right? You know, the call is and then the response, right? So this is how you make these elements talk to each other. It's really not too difficult. It's just like I said, getting different inspiration from the loops, and then call and response really being important. And then we can take that even further too. Like if we take maybe like one of these Foley loops, then we'll chop this. So now we have our call and response happening already in that, but then over here we can have this respond to what that percussion over there was doing. So like we'll chop it so it's just after that. And see how this beat is really coming to life now, because everything's talking to each other. It's like even the kicks are talking to each other. And they're talking to that little hi-hat, and then all of that is talking to this percussion here. So it's really about that. I think something people don't talk about enough is call and response, like, and just really trying to make these things fit together rather than just throwing more percussion into here. And you notice also with the call and response, it's like choosing similar sounds. Like These are both kind of the same type of texture. So they're gonna fit together, but then it's also like, you notice these are much lower, and then this is like bright and high. So it's like paying attention to stuff like that. Maybe now we can bring in something like this. And see, that's even call and response, because that's kind of bouncing off of the snare. It's like, like that. See, it's like, versus like if I chop that and make it go, it's not as effective. Alright, and I'm gonna bring in some synths, because I think the synths can work with this as well. Like, you know, if we listen like this bass, for example, here, I know this is just gonna be like a nice deep reese bass. So you see, like, that fits also with the sample selection, because, like, you know, we have these deep kicks, so we're going to have a deep bass. Like, it's really just kind of having an idea of what the aesthetic you're going for is, and then using the samples and even the bass sounds and stuff like that. Even this pad is going to fit with that. And just really choosing sounds that fit together, but also being open enough to random chances and little happy accidents happening, that you can essentially have this and create this kind of groove, both with what's in your head and kind of like just going with what happens. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I just wanted to show you how to make grooves and how to put samples together, you know, something beyond just, you know, how to make music like X person, but how to really make tracks from scratch and build them yourself. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. If you like this video, definitely make sure to like the video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this definitive Future Garage sample library with all the drum loops, effects, hi-hats, kicks, organic percussion loops, percussion, snares, synth loops, texture noises, and the demo track template project. All of that is available at the top of the description on my website. If you grab it right now, there's a 50% off code. It's a really great deal. Definitely get that. I've got Black Friday deals coming up as well, so definitely join that mailing list. Thank you so much for the support, everybody, and I'll see you with another video.